Hello, this is Wiz. Today we're going to talk about decimals, percentages, and fractions. So percent, if we break down that word, per means how many, such as miles per hour, is how many miles per hour, so how many miles in 1 hour. And cent means 100, so it's the division for euros. You'd have 100 cents in 1 euro. Cent is Latin for 100. So percent means how many in 100. So 50% is like saying 50 in 100, or 50 out of 100, okay? So decimals are just the numbers in between whole numbers. So 9.4 is in between 9 and 10, and it's 9 plus 0.4. So it would go 9.1, 9.2, 9.3, 9.4, 9.5, sorry about that. And in between your 9.4 and your 9.5, it would go 9.41, 9.42, 9.443, the whole way up to 9.45. And those divisions, so that's tenths, hundredths, thousandths, tenth of thousandths, those go on forever. So you can have an infinite number of numbers after your decimal place, okay? And then a fraction just means the top number divided by the bottom number. So if you think about a quarter is just 1 divided into 4 equal parts, okay? So if we remember in primary school, I'll draw that again because that wasn't very good. In primary school, you might have seen quarters demonstrated like this. So this is one whole circle, or pie or pizza, and it's divided into 4 slices or parts, and they're equal. And that's 1 quarter, so it's just 1 divided by 4. Okay, so to go from a fraction to a decimal, we know we're talking there about quarters, is 1 divided by 4, or 1 over 4. So if we actually do 1 divided by 4, then we would say that in 1 there are 0 4s. So we're going to have to go into the decimal places. There's going to be 1 remainder where there are 2 4s, and we're going to have a remainder 2. So it's going to be 0.25. And that is the decimal of 1 quarter. So that works for all fractions. If you just divide the top number by the bottom number, you will get the decimal value. What about the other way? What about going from decimals to a fraction? So interestingly, if you think that any number in the world, this is true for. So if you have any number in the world, let's say a really random decimal, 1.56. 1.56 divided by 1 is still 1.56. Okay, so what we can do is we can put this 1.56 over 1. And therefore, because it's top number divided by bottom number, and it's still equal to 1.56, we've already put it into a fraction. Now, conventionally, we can't keep the fractions with a decimal place inside them. So we have to get rid of this decimal place. So what we'll do here is we'll times it by 100. And always remember with fractions, whatever you do to the top half, you have to do to the bottom half. So here we're going to have 156 over 100. And you'd be able to divide that and simplify it down. So if we divide the top by 2, we have to divide the bottom by 2. So dividing by 2 is going to be over 50. 156 divided by 2 is going to give us 78. And 78 over 50 is also going to divide by 2 to give us over 25, 39. Okay, 39 over 25 is 1 and 14 25ths. I think, yeah, that looks right. And that's the final answer. Okay, so how to go from a decimal to a fraction? You just put it over 1, and then you multiply so that you get rid of your decimal places. Okay, so that's fractions and decimals, just about wrapped up. If we go and introduce percentages, let's go from a fraction to a percentage. So we've got fractions to percentage. Okay, so we know from our definition of percentages that it's how many per 100, okay? So whenever we get our percentage, we can say if it's over 100, then we're able to say that it's just equal to the top, whatever's on the top, percent, okay? Because it's the top out of 100, okay? The numerator out of 100. So what we do to get from a fraction to a percentage, let's say we're given a fraction such as 7/8. Okay, so we can't go directly from 8 to 100 because 100 divided by 8 goes in as 12.5. And I don't know my 12.5 times tables. So what we would do is we would take 7/8 and we would times it by 100 to get whatever we have over 800. So whatever you do to the bottom half, you have to do to the top half. 7 times 100 is 700. Then to get it over 100, we would divide by 8. So it's going to be 700 divided by 8. Okay, so that's going to be 8, remainder 6, in 60 we've got 7, remainder 4, in 40 we've got 5. Okay, so it's going to be 87.5 over 100, which is equal to 87.5%. So that's the reason we put it over 100, because percent means per 100. Okay, so what about the other way around? What about percentage to a fraction? If we go percentage to a fraction, any percentage we have, let's say we've got 123%, we know that that is equal to 123 per 100 or over 100. And then all we have to do is simplify this down. Okay, I actually think that this is going to be 123 100ths as the final answer. So what I've done there is I've made the top heavy or improper fraction mixed. So a whole number, which was 100 over 100 equal to 1, and then the 23 left over. Okay, so what about decimals and percentages? Decimals and percentages I've left to last because they're probably the most straightforward. So decimal to percentage, all you need to do is times by 100. So if we have 0.12, that's going to be times by 100, which is equal to 12%. Okay, and then going from a percentage to a decimal, you just divide by 100. So if we've got 573%, that's going to be equal to 5.73, because that's what 573 divided by 100 is. Okay, as always, if you have any questions, just give me a shout. Thank you very much. See you soon.